What's up, guys? Welcome to the Be Bold Investing. I actually got my shirt on today. Not very often that I actually wear this shirt, but this is the Be Bold Investing community. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Looks like there's a new face in here today, which is Michael. Just as a reminder, we're actually doing these support calls on Thursdays. I had to switch this. I have a flight going out of Orlando tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to participate in tomorrow's support call. But just make sure you're turning into the calendar. I know, Jose, you're very active in the community, but Michael, make sure you're in the calendar, and then that way you can see when we're doing live Zooms. Also, as a reminder, Matt is actually going live once a week to Tech Tuesdays, pretty much deep diving with you guys about you guys' social medias, helping you guys revamp your YouTube channels, helping you guys revamp email marketing, etc. If that is stuff you want to learn about, because you guys see that I'm doing it at a very high level, he's actually the one who's running all that behind the scenes stuff. One other thing I do want to add, don't forget to check the classroom tab at the very top of the home screen on school. I have multiple courses in there that I give you guys 100% free access. You do not need to pay, right? Go in there. You want to learn about Airbnb. You want to see my 7-week course. Boom. Go in there. You want to learn about PadSplit. You want to see my mini course. Boom. Go in there. You want to see the digital products that we have in there. Boom. The vault also is in there as well. This is just a reminder for you guys so you guys can be taking full advantage of what we have built here in school. We're growing rapidly. We're getting a lot of interest in this community, and we won't plan to be the top real estate community on school. So welcome, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys being here. Today is going to be a Q&A style. I am here to help you amongst your deals or get you started on your first deal. You can ask me any question that you have, and if I have the answer, I would definitely be answering it and dissecting it with you guys. So let's get started with, actually, I've never met Michael. Michael, what's up, brother?
Hey Javier, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get organized here. I got the kiddos here and I'm at home, so just trying to get
Oh,
into a,
dude.
a quiet room.
Yeah, man, no worries, bro. Man, good to meet you finally in person. I'm glad you chimed in today. Welcome to the community. I think you've been in for quite some time.
Yeah, so I kind of be school being the kind of the new kid on the block. I stumbled across the Be Bold platform, and then you guys, one second, and then kind of fell down the rabbit hole, and so like just kind of learning the platform, and then kind of just navigating through it. So I haven't been too active, but just recently I connected with Matt just the other day. He actually messaged me and was like, "Hey, you have a specific question that we can actually help you with. So just go ahead and post it in the Be Bold, and I'll kind of get you hooked up." And so I'm like, "Okay, I need to be more active in here." So then I'm
Sweet.
back. I'm trying to learn as much as I can and grow my knowledge.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Thank you for tuning in and introducing yourself. I see you did an introductory today, and see that's the beautiful thing about this community. And I don't know if you saw, but you reached out because you were looking for, it looks like, some lending. And Jessica, which is one of the top preferred lenders in our marketplace in Florida, which they do nationwide lending, but she's based out of Florida. She actually runs a sales team on Empire, which they're a solid company. They have a lot of different products. And so she got to chime in and actually give you some assistance. If you guys haven't connected, I'm sure you guys will. But that's the point of this. The community drives the community. And the beautiful thing about this is Matt's doing his support calls. I don't know if you've been on them yet, but he's doing his support calls on Tuesdays. I actually do my support calls on Thursdays. So it's not typical for me to hop on here on a Wednesday, but again, I'm flying out tomorrow, so I won't be able to be accessible to you guys. But the whole thing about this is, bro, is I'm in here really, really deep diving with you guys about deals, underwriting, how to talk to sellers. I mean, everything that I have extract out of my brain for the last almost 10 years being in the game of doing hundreds of thousands of dollars and multi millions of dollars worth of real estate. I'm here to give it to you guys, and that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't going to see this in any other mentorship. I guarantee it. Not even for free. It's just people aren't going to take the time to do it. So
Yeah.
that's the point.
So I'll give you a little bit more background if you're up for it, just so kind of we can get to know each other a bit better. So I actually live out near Tampa, Florida.
Are you
And last week I got to spend my day with Pace. I flew out to Arizona, and I believe you're familiar with Ella Ray, the transaction
LRA?
coordinator.
That's my girl.
Yeah, yeah. So we were actually out there. We had a lot of fun. And just networking with people. I work primarily. My business has been Gator lending, short-term PML. But the thing is, I know some of us Gator, and myself included, we're expensive money,
Yeah,
and and so you know, I'll back up a little bit. My W-2 is a full-time firefighter, paramedic,
nice.
and yeah, and I love it, but to me, it's like, hey, I've been in for 8 years, and there's this reoccurring theme of like guys do 30 years and they can't afford to retire because they all they knew learned how to do was buy liabilities and never saved, and they thought their pension would save them, and it seems like a bad plan. And so I'm like, you know what, I need to kind of get into this whole real estate game. I got my license in real estate license in 2019. I helped a couple of brand new buyers, but I definitely suffered with imposter syndrome. I'm kind of a fitness guy, the firefighter guy, and at that time, even now, my only experience was buying my primary residence. So I was like, how can I run around here pretending to be the market expert if my experience is very limited? So then I kind of, family started growing, COVID hit, I hung that license up. I'm like, okay, I'll revisit this in a little bit. And then, wife started working less because the family growing, and then I did start doing some junk removal. I have friends and family that do the dumpster rentals. I
Yep.
was cleaning out hoarder homes, busting butt, dragging stuff out and then I'm like, I'm still trading my time for an hourly wage, and I feel like I'm stepping over dollars, picking up pennies here. And that's kind of where I found my niche in lending, which has been going good. It's just, at the end of the day, I'm still kind of a service provider. I'm not really in real estate.
Yeah.
And so like I'm trying to branch through. It's like, okay, I know time's of the essence in terms of, or time's a funny thing. It's like, I've got two boys, one on the way here any week. And I'm like, okay, I can do this on the side in terms of lending because it doesn't require me to, really find the deal or, be in the deal. But I'm not, I have the fire in me to branch into whether, it's growing a portfolio, do fix and flips, or even fix and holds. And pad splits obviously, very up and coming, or even, maybe it's been around longer than I'm aware of. But
Oh,
that
very relevant right now. But yep.
and so I'm like, that I know that's a good way to cash flow, and I know that cash flows, they say it's for the dummies, it's long-term wealth, but right now it's very real that that short-term money is important to me. And so it's like, if there's a way for me to grow a portfolio, actually make cash flow, then I could actually branch into this and eventually, in the short term, leave the fire department, whether it's 2 years, 5 years, it's going to be shorter than 30, right? So that's kind of like a 30,000 view, word vomit, so know a little bit about me.
Oh man, that's awesome. And so just like you hit it, right on the head, like the Gator lending, the issue with it is it's just active income stream, right? And
Yeah.
it's just another job for you to do. So yeah, you can make a couple bucks here and there, but like really like, do you really want to allocate your time toward another income stream? Now, maybe you want to do like a couple deals a month to get some supplemental income, right? And that's fine. But the real goal for you should be is to start holding real estate. Because the way I look at Gator lending is like you're dating your money and you're not marrying your money, right? Every activity that you doing outside of the fire department to create income should be you marrying your money, right? Everything I do is like buy and hold. I'm marrying my money. I'm not dating my money. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing with Gator lending, fix and flipping, wholesaling. Again, those have a time and place for everyone, depending on what part of the journey you want, right? And so
Right.
you might want to continue to do one or two Gatorland deals a month or a week to get that supplemental extra active income. But the real key is to leverage the community, get some bird dogs. Maybe if you don't want to go direct to seller because maybe you don't have the time and energy, or maybe you don't have the skill set, which going direct to seller, again, you're going to get a lot lower entry fees. But like for me, for instance, I'm solely focused on building wealth activities. I don't want the active income streams. I want to continue to hold real estate in my portfolio, which I've been doing for years now. I've never been a flip flopper. like I already have my active income streams just like you do. But the key thing is you need to marry your money and not date your money. You need to start buying some of these deals. And then that way, because here's the cool thing about you too, and a niche of yours might be like, hey, look, I'm in the fire department. I'm working around a bunch of guys who work 24 hours on and 48 hours off. I'm not sure if that's your shifts or not. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
That work 24 hours on and 24 hours off. We all know damn well when they're in the fire station, they're bullshitting on their phone. They're trying to dabble in maybe real estate or some other things, but for the most part, they're wasting their time. And so a lot of these guys might have what I call lazy capital, right? And so maybe you're not in the position to where you're capital heavy. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But what I'm trying to say is the name of the game is OPM. You starting to get and use other people's money and start buying real estate. So for instance,
Yeah.
I have guys that are not in the fire department, but I have my lenders are 9 to 5ers, just like the fire department guys, and they just have lazy capital and they don't have anything to do with it. So they're deploying into my deals as PMLs and PMPs, which is a private money partner. So
Right.
that's where I think you should really start catapulting it. And here's the beautiful thing. It's okay. You might not have the full understanding and skill set of acquiring real estate. And that's why we're having the support call, bro. Bring deals
Right.
to the table and I'll help you look at them. I'll help you analyze them. Right. And the best place to do that is right here.
Right. And I think that's kind of and that I definitely am thinking along the same lines of you. Is like, okay, yeah, I can put my deal in and I'll earn 20% in 60 days
Yeah.
or, whatever. But it's like, there's plenty of people who in my network that's like, if I could, guarantee them putting their money with me and earn 12% in a year,
Exactly.
that, you
Exactly.
know, it's just, I'm still kind of in that proof of concept. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not an operator. And so I need to learn, to me, it's a little scary. Like maybe I should do the first one with my own money. That way I'm not risking anyone else's money, And so it's like me acquiring, like there's a, sub 2 property in my local market. I'm like, oh, it's
Yep.
low entry. I'm like, well, if I take it, I could hemorrhage, $2,000 a month because I don't know how to operate. I don't know what it's like to be a landlord and anything like that. And so that's like I got to break through that fear of like, hey, or get with the right people to like, hey, this is what you should do, when this goes wrong or something like that, and
Bro.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Listen, and that's why I'm here for you, bro. Like I'm here to help you and handhold you. Like if there's a deal that you are looking at right now, or there's something in horizon that you want to look at in your market, bro, just so you know, you have my blessing, dude. Like bring the deal up. Let's talk about it. Let's talk it through. Let's underwrite it. Let's look at the exit strategies. The first primary thing I could tell you is you need to be crystal clear on what your exit strategies are. Are you going to do wraparound mortgages, which is another active income stream? Are you going to buy and hold like long-term rental wise, which is okay, but typically you don't cash flow on those, right? And it
Right.
sounds like you want a little bit of owning real estate and cash flowing. So you're like, I'm going to tell you right now, bro, you're in a market which is Tampa, bro. If you can get sub 2 deals in there and start turning them into pad splits, you will kill it. I'm telling you, bro,
Right.
it's one of the hottest markets. That's one of the markets I buy in. Like I actually was on a phone call today before this call with a wholesaler who this is how much people have built trust with me. They only have the deal locked up. They've already given me the address. We've already talked through the terms and conditions of the property right in Tampa. Like I get deals like that all the time. Actually, matter of fact, if you're interested, I have another deal in Tampa right now that a girl brought to me. I'm not direct to seller on it. It's a wholesaler. It's about a $25,000 entry fee. It's in a Tampa, and it's a good pad split. What it looks like from the photos and the floor plan, it looks like it would lend itself to a really good pad split. I can connect you guys. I'm not looking to make a fee or anything, but I can connect you guys. And if you're looking to deploy some capital
Mm-hmm.
for that deal, that could be your first deal potentially. And if that's not, that's okay. It's going through
Right.
the motions. It's going through the motions, feeling the product, walking the product, seeing, what the numbers would pencil out at. Even if that one deal doesn't work out, a lot of people get hung up on like, oh man, that deal didn't work out, or oh man, I don't have the capital for it. You know what? Let's go into it with the intentions that you're going to buy it. And even if you don't buy it, we can pencil it out. That way you have a blueprint and you can start taking action toward other deals. So
Yeah.
going back to what I said, you need to be crystal clear on what your exit strategy is going to be when you do buy and hold. Is it going to be pad split? Is it going to be a long-term rental, a mid-term rental? There's definitely different exits, and every single exit has its different buy box. So what I teach people all the time is be crystal clear also on your buy box. So for instance, create a buying criteria. I'm not only going up to like 400,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath minimum, 1,300 square foot minimum. It has to be concrete block. It has to be in these areas. Like start pinning that out and seeing what that looks like. So that way, when you're going after deals, you're going after deals within your buy box and you're not just like going after anything. You're being very hyper focused, and the riches are in the niches. And I know that's an old saying, but it's very, very true. And it really helps out to keep away all this extra noise that we have going on all of us. Like, for instance, bro, I'm getting like 30 to 40 emails a day between deals and wholesalers sending me shit all the time. And it's just too much for me to keep up. So what
Right.
I do, I have my buy box for my pad split. I got my buy box for my STR, my short-term rental portfolio. And guess what? I'm only focused on these 2 buy boxes. If stuff aren't in it, like for instance, if I'm looking at a deal and somebody sends me something and the first thing I see has an HOA, boop, disregard. I don't want to see it. Don't want to look at it. So when I'm on my phone and I'm in these Airbnb or I'm in these groups or in sub 2 or in other masterminds that I'm very intentional when I'm on my phone. I'm not just like on Facebook like everybody else all the time, which I am.
Right.
But when I'm on Facebook, I'm in the groups where people are selling deals to try to buy deals. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More
Absolutely.
intentional. And so like here's the beauty about you, bro. And I could tell you this because I've coached a lot of firefighters. You guys have a lot of time on your hands.
Mm,
And
yeah.
you can allocate that and use your firefighting career as a vehicle to get you into selling real estate, or excuse me, not selling real estate, and to get you into acquiring real estate. And you could do that one
Right.
of 2 ways. You could start prospecting within your firehouse and start saying to maybe your chief or some of the other fire guys and start saying, hey, what do it look like to you if I can get you 12 to 15% on your money or 10% on your money, right? And see how they feel. Start trying to get some soft commitments. Next time you're in the firehouse, get some soft commitments. See what that soft
Yeah.
commitment looks like. Hey, what if I got you 10% on your money, interest only, backed by real estate? Would this be something that you'd be open to? See how they respond. And then that way you can start stacking capital, soft commitments to start buying these deals that you come across.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I think one of those. I love that, and that's definitely something that's kind of And I am. I don't want to say analysis by paralysis. I do pride myself on being an action taker, right? But it's like, when you don't know the whole picture, it's like, okay, well, am I going to lock them up for 12 months? If it's a sub 2 property, how am I planning on cashing them out in 12 months? Like stuff like that always kind of sits
Yeah.
in the back, and not to get in the weeds with it, but it's things like that. And I'm like, I think is making me a little bit hesitant to go to that next level. And it's like, okay, Mike, I'm comfortable lending and I know how to underwrite and comp for lending deals. Let me just do that a couple more times, and then maybe I'll come right across the right deal. But it's like like you said, you have to find that you kind of can make the exit strategy part of the deal. So I love this information. I really appreciate it.
So one of the things too, so when you're looking for like a PML or a PMP could also be very beneficial to you as well. I'll make an example. I have individuals coming up to me saying, hey, Javier, I love what you're doing. I see you're doing a lot of pad splits. I see you do a lot of Airbnb. We know, like, and trust you because you built us online social media presence. And I know you're probably like, well, Javier, I don't really have the credibility that you have. That's okay. That's all right. But once you start learning the skill set, is what I'm saying. Once you start adding these other tools in your tool belt and you're super efficient at them, you're going to have people approach you and say, hey, look, why don't you go out there, curate the deal, meaning get the piece of real estate, negotiate the paper, lock it up, the contracts, and I'll deploy my capital into the deal. And why don't you be the one to go ahead and turn it into a pad split? You handle the management. So like I'm doing a deal right now, make an example. The guy's bringing all the money for the acquisition of the real estate. I'm not bringing any money. He's also bringing all the acquisition for the pad split renovation. He's also bringing all the money for the furniture cost. He's bringing all the money for the holding costs. I'm in the deal zero. Reason why he came
Yeah.
up, because look, he knows I have SOP, standard operating procedures.
Yeah.
I've built a brand. Again, I know you're in a stage of like, hey, I'm building my presence, I'm building my brand, I'm getting the blueprint. But when you start learning, even if you're doing 1 or 2 deals, and you have that proof of concept, which it sounds like that's what you're really looking for, and you want to risk your own money versus somebody else's money, you start feeling comfortable and you have that proof of concept, you can start approaching people and say, hey, look, I got this business model. I got 1, 2, 3 Main Street and 4, 5, 6 Main Street. These deals are up and running. Here's the numbers we're producing. I'm looking to acquire other deals just like this. Would you like to be a PMP on my deals? Me personally, I'll be honest with you, I prefer PML money than PMPs because now you have a business partner in the deal. And typically,
Right.
family or any type of partnership, it's very difficult because guess what? You're in a marriage with that individual. And especially when you're doing subject to deals or any type of creative finance deal, you're in a marriage with the seller, right? That seller never goes away. Like they're going to be in your life for the rest of your life. Now, how often do I talk to my subject to sellers? Never, never. But you're still married to them. Now you have a partnership. We all know how partnerships are. They're just like your girlfriend or your boyfriend, right? It's not easy, right? It takes work to make a good partnership. But when you have that skill set, is what I'm saying is you can start approaching people and you have that proof of concept for them to be and deploy into your deals when you have them or raise capital. But what I would start doing if I was you, bro, and I'm telling you, this is a no-brainer. Next time you go in the firehouse, your homework is PMLs, start getting soft commitments, see who wants to deploy their money into real estate and secured by real estate, right? Because you're going to have that lien position. They're going to have either a first or a second lien position. Typically, it's a second lien position, and see if they would be open between, I would start to 10 to 12%, right? 10 to 12%. Some people, like, this is what I can tell you. If you're raising money in the community, people are more savvy. They might want 14%, right? They might want 15%. But if people outside, like the lazy capital that I raise outside the community, bro, I'll raise it, dude. I'll get people at 10 and 12% all day long because dude, my money ain't doing shit anyways. And so here's another key factor. This is the way you pay them back. You can't get short-term capital, bro. You can't get 6 or 12 months. It ain't going to work. The lenders that I work with, I say, look, I can't pay you back in 6 or 12 months. And especially if they're outside the community, the term on that money, it's what you really set with them. So a lot of times I try to raise it for at least 24 months, 2 years. And here's the benefit for them. Not only do they have their money parked in a deal and it's constantly revolving, it's constantly making money. For the guys who are lending short-term money, those are people who are in communities like us, just like you said, expensive capital. Guess what? That ain't going to work here, bro. You have to get people who have lazy capital. You're deploying it and they're deploying it into your deals for 24 months minimums. And I would say 15 to 24 months minimum. I would say 24 months. But that way you can start stacking money and putting it into a bucket from your cash flow. Or you can take all your cash flow and start dumping it into that bucket. And that's how you pay them back. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
That's how you pay them back. So if you cash flow net every month, $1,500 a month, which a lot of pad splits do, $1,500 to $2,000 a month. The guy I was on the phone with earlier, he's doing $2,400 a month in net profit. Let's say you're saying, you know what? I want to take it and put $2,000 aside every single month. Well, after a while, that accumulates. Plus all the other deals you're going to be doing on Gator and all the other cash flowing assets.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When you start having more than one cash flow property, it gets even easier to pay PMLs back because now you have multiple areas where you can take from and deploy into that bucket to pay that individual back at that time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Remember this, brother. It's never the right time. It's never the right time. You can't go into this and thinking things are going to work out perfectly. And I know you said, hey, I'm not really the analysis paralysis guy, but you got to go in this with the intention of, hey, this is going to work out. And guess what? If it doesn't, there's no loss. You're winning no matter what. Even if the piece of real estate, you buy it and it pays for itself and you break even, bro, you're still winning all day long. You get pay down.
The skills. Yeah.
You get future appreciation. You get leverage. You can use it as collateral. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on, So never look at it from a point of like, oh man, this didn't work out how I want to be. Because guess what? The amount of learning experiences that you're going to get out of that one deal, the amount of relationships that you're going to get out of that one deal are going to be it's priceless. And that's why a lot of people you'll hear say right now is like, cash flow is just, we're not worried about cash flow, or cash flow is not a thing in single family, right? And it's typically not, unless you're doing some type of alternate source of rental, which is like a short-term rental, mid-term rental, or a pad split. Those are those exits that really cash flow when you have a piece of single family property. If you're doing long-term rental, that's the old school method. That's the old school way of thinking. You're not going to cash flow long-term rental. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
And that one repair is going to eat up all your costs for the year. The AC goes out, a plumbing leak. The tenant gave you the property back after 12 months and there's roaches. These horror stories that you hear, they happen. It's the nature of the business. It's part of the business.
Yeah. I totally grab it. I really appreciate it.
So do this. And this is what I want you to do, bro. So I want you to make sure that we're taking action. This isn't just not a conversation, because that's the whole point of this. I'm spending my time with you guys. So there is action steps after this. So I want you to tell yourself and ask yourself like this. When you hang up this call with me, the next time we chat and you get on a Zoom call, or it can be in any time in the week, just hit me up in the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to ask yourself, are you going to go direct to seller with your free time at the firehouse? And you're in a position where you're like, hey, I want to test out a couple properties with my own capital, which is totally fine. You want proof of concept and you only want to risk your own property. And if you're going to go direct to seller with your own capital, right, that's fine. But now you can start making some calls to either direct to agent or direct to seller. And then that way you can start prospecting to start getting some pieces of real estate in your area. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's what I would say. Like, let's get that hammered in. And then that way, when you have a deal, we can talk about it the next time and we can actually break it down. And I can tell you right away, why is it a deal or why is it not a deal?
Dude, I really appreciate this, man.
Does that sound fair?
Absolutely. Like I said, and that's kind of, everyone talks about the shiny object syndrome, but like you said, I have to really niche down. Like, hey, where am I gotta get it kind of granular here, and that way I'm not like kind of just spinning my wheels everywhere, and I can kind of focus on how I'm gonna take that action. So yeah,
100%.
totally makes sense.
Yeah, just start making a couple phone calls. Make it super simple, man. It's that baby step. It's getting that little bit more confidence. Like when you went up the firefighter ladder at fire school, like it was probably very intimidating, right? You do one step, then two steps. That very first time, you're super intimidated. But the next time you went to the firehouse and you had to climb up that same ladder, you built a lot more confidence. The only way you build confidence is with action.
Right.
Today's action are tomorrow results. There's just how it works in perfect action, So if you have these deals that are coming through, or you have one that you're already looking at, let's talk through it. Let's see if it's a deal or not a deal, and we'll see why it's not a deal, and we'll see why it is a deal. And then that way we can start structuring to where you really are holding real estate and not just gator lending, because again, gator it's fine. You might do a couple a month or a couple a week to get some supplemental income. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you working at the firehouse. But it sounds like to me, the real goal for you is to own real estate. And so if that's the case, we need to make sure that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm down to look at the one opportunity that you were looking at with in potential pad split in Tampa area. I definitely want to take a look at that one as well.
I'll message that to you, and she still has that available. I've already checked it out. It's in a pretty decent neighborhood. It's just east of 275. And that deal, let me see. I think it was a 4.5 interest rate via subject to. Underlying mortgage was like 350-ish, something like that. I'll message it to you. And if you look at it, if you think you like it, I can connect you with her. Dude, the entry fee on it was like 25 G's. It's a 4.2 right now. And you should be able to easily convert it into like a 7-bedroom, 2-bath, 7-bedroom minimum. Because that's where you really want to convert to, is about a 7 to 8 bedroom for you to start making money in pad split.
Awesome. Yeah. And I really have to get into, I know, like you said in the beginning of this video, you have all your courses and stuff, which, I need to hit the books on that as well, just to kind of broaden my knowledge as well.
It's all free. Just go in the classroom and you'll be able to get access to it. I have a whole entire pad split mini course.
I appreciate you, Javier.
So either or, bro. So,
dude, love it. Great. Thank you.
Great meeting you, man. Anything else I could do, just let me know, and let's keep rocking and rolling, brother.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
By the way, if you don't follow me on social, find me at the Real Javier Paredes. You'll see it.
Oh, I got you.
Get me on there. All right, who's next? Man, Miguel. I haven't seen Miguel on a Zoom since 1940s. What's up, guys? Who's next? Pop your camera on. Come in here with questions. The clock is ticking. Let's go. Talk to me.
Avi, what's up?
Did you just hear that, bro?
Hear what?
Did you hear all that training I just did? Or
of course. Yes. I'm here. I learned a lot from listening to your conversations. And so, how you doing, man? How you been?
Dude, I've been freaking phenomenal, man. I got one deal that I'm about to get on the market. Another 8 rooms on pad split. I typically say units, but it's 8 rooms. People get confused sometimes, like 8 different homes, but 8 rooms or 8 units, whatever you classify it as. That project's will be up and running in 2.5 weeks. I got a couple of offers out there right now for other co-living properties. and just rocking and rolling, bro. Just trying to I want to at least do like 3 to 4 deals a month right now, but I'm being very, very picky on my buy box, super picky. Like I had a wholesaler. I don't know if you heard what I was just telling him. And I'm not talking about the Tampa deal. This is another Tampa deal. I had a wholesaler reach out to me. And again, I have wholesalers that are literally bird dogging for me all day long. Because remember, my strategy is I don't go out there and cold call. I don't go out there and have VAs doing, I don't do that. I don't have the time and energy for that. I'm okay with paying a 10, 15, 20K assignment fee if the numbers make sense, right? So everybody wins there, the seller, the wholesaler, and myself. But they're out there bird dogging for me, and I'm getting people that, bro, before they even have deals locked up, this is how much they trust me. They're like, yo, let's talk this deal over. Would you be a buyer? Here's the address, 123 Main Street. Here's approximately what the terms would be. Oh, okay. No, you won't be a buyer, no problem. So he sent me and showed me 2 deals, but it's building that relationship. It's building that credibility. And with you, and I know you've been really doing an awesome job on your social media. Like you and Jose are really, really doing it. Like you, it's funny because when I pop on social media, now I'm starting to see you guys, right? And so I'm starting to see you in the algorithm a lot more. But you know what that ends up doing? Really, that shows credibility. You're putting out content, you're driving with value, and people are you're no longer the secret investor. You are telling people and telling the world, like, oh yeah, I'm Jose. I'm an investor, lead with value. Everything you should be doing, 80, 90% value, and then some call to actions. Hey, you want to invest with me? I'm investing in these type of properties. These are the type of returns my investors are getting. Or, you can always have some type of call. It doesn't have to be that necessarily, but as you start building more of an online presence and you're going to be able to reach more and more people, think about this. Like I reached throughout my social medias over 100,000 people last month. Over 100,000. That's between my YouTube, my Instagram. Just on Instagram alone was like 45,000 people. I would never be able to take all those people and put them in my own room and shake their hand. Never, never, never. It would take me years to do that. You see what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that every single one of those people looked at my content from the second I started talking to the end of it. That's not the point. But guess what? I'm in front of these people. They're watching me, even though they're not engaging. And this is what I tell people, especially when doing content. Don't get attached to the outcome, right? Don't get attached to the outcome. It's not about what you get for likes, shares, comments. It ain't about that. Because guess what? Your one video will always outperform all the videos that those other individuals don't put out.
So. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. I mean, I feel I'm just starting to do a little thing, with the social media here and there. And already I was contacted by people that I don't even know where they came from. One guy from Las Vegas that he's a wholesaler, he invests over there, and we connected, right? So I already see how that is working, and I'm not even scratching the surface with that. And I do post, right? And like you see my post, not everything is real estate. I post,
okay.
Whatever I can post, right?
Dude, that's okay. And guess what? It shouldn't just be all real estate. People want to know you're a real person, right? When you just post only real estate, people are like, man, what is Jose? Does he like to play golf? Does he like to travel? Does he like to go to a hamburger joint on Tuesdays? Like people want to know that they're doing business with people they know, like, and trust, period. Right. And even if they're not doing business with you, it's still your audience. Your audience wants to know that you're a real person, right?
Right.
You get sick. You're not a robot, So
yeah, which I am right now. I'm getting over a cold. I've been feeling horrible, man.
Dude, everybody's got that cold, man. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better today, but last few days I've been miserable, man.
Yeah, a lot of people got it. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Javi, so I wanted to ask you a question about underwriting.
Yes.
You mentioned that you get 30, 40 deals in your inbox and, your phone every single day. Once you spot something that fits your buy box, how do you go about, okay, let's do a quick underwriting, and then what do you look for to, dive deeper into the numbers?
Okay, cool. Great question. So what I will do is if somebody sends me a deal and everything's within the buy box, meaning the preliminary stuff, like the bedroom count, the square footage count, the year bill. if the major components are all updated, right? Because this is what I care about in my buy box. Like, I want to know that I'm not having to come in and put a new roof. I want to know I'm not having to come in and put brand new ACs. I want to know that unless I'm really getting it for like literally pennies on the dollar, which typically if you're working with bird dogs, meaning they're just middlemen and they're putting assignment fee on it, typically there's more than one middleman sometimes before a deal's brought to me and I'm actually the buyer, right? And so my entry cost is so high. Like I can't go in there and do the big CapEx stuff. That stuff has to be updated. And when I say updated, I don't typically want this stuff older than like 5 years. Okay. Roof can't be older than 5 years. AC, I would probably go up to like 7 to 8 years, plumbing, electrical, stuff like that. But when I look at a deal, right, and I'm going to make an example, I'm going to pull up a property right now, a real life property, a real life scenario, so you can see exactly how I'm analyzing it, right? So I'm going to share my screen with you, right? This is a deal a guy sent me the other day, and this is a deal that he wants to sell me, right? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
You can see my screen, right?
Well, I see your name.
Oh, you can see my whole screen though, right? Can you see my screen?
I see your name and it has started screen sharing, but it's dark.
Oh, that's interesting. Let me see why. Screen share. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this.
And by the way, Javi, while you do that, that preliminary check that you do to see if the square footage is there, if the bedroom count is there, if the bathroom count is there, that's also considered underwriting, correct?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's part of underwriting. Like
right, right.
so when I get a deal, I'm looking at it in the lens of my buy box. So if the lens of my buy box for that particular deal is pad split, then I'm gonna look at it as a pad split. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You see my screen now, right?
No, it's dark.
Black.
The hell? All right, let's see here. Jose, drop your socials in the comments, by the way. Andrea's asking.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know why it is doing that. That's weird. Desktop. Okay, here it goes. Here it goes. How about now? You can see my screen, right?
Yep, we got it.
All right, perfect. All right. So check this out, right? Real deal, because I hate just talking through things verbally. I want to show you guys real life examples. So I got a deal sent for me through a wholesaler. And if you guys go behind me and buy this deal, then I'm going to be upset. No, I'm just kidding. So sent to me 2 days ago, right? Let me pull up the address here in a second. So the deals is within my buy box, but let me pull up the actual property. Hold on, I'm just pulling up through my text. Just so you guys can see. Okay, where's this deal at? Give me 1 second, Isaac. All right, here it is. All right, 70 wedge wood. So this is a subject to deal, right? Wholesaler brought it to me. You can see my screen, right? The house.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, let me pull this deal up on MLS because we can get a. And by the way, you don't need to pull things up on MLS. I have access to the MLS because I'm a realtor. But you can pull things up on Trulia, Zillow, PropStream. You don't need the MLS, guys. So the reason why I'm saying that is because when you see me do this, the reason why I'm pulling on the MLS is because on Realtor.com, there's only one picture. On Realtor.com and Zillow, there's only one picture. You see what I'm saying? You see the house?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the first things I do, I'm going to just start here because I'm already in this screen. Here's the property. The property is via subject to with, I have the mortgage statement right in front of me. Its outstanding balance is $335,000. Okay, boom, within my buy box. The PIT, the interest rate on it is 4.75, boom, within my buy box, because I only go 5% or lower. I'll go up to 5.5, depending on what case we're in. The PITI, this is a pre-foreclosure, guys, by the way. The PITI on this house is, what is it? It is 2,300, right? So the first thing I do is when I see that, this roof has been updated because I've asked the wholesaler, plus I did my own due diligence. By the way, I don't just ask. I'll ask preliminary, but I'll do more digging. And typically when I buy properties, I try to get, a lot of times they want to make your escrow money hard if you go into a deal, meaning it's non-refundable, which that's like 99.9% of deals. So upfront, if you guys ask for inspection reports, that can help out a lot. So you guys can see the due diligence, right? But so the first thing I'll see is like, okay, is it within the bed bath count? Is it within the year count? Is it within the interest rate that I'm looking for? Is it in the location that I'm looking for, right? And if all those characteristics work, then I will then go ahead and pull up the property like I have now. See this? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a non-HOA. Okay. So it's got a 2-car garage. It's got lots of parking, right? You could fit, probably 2-3 cars there. Here's street parking. And this is the neighborhood. So when I'm looking at properties, guys, a lot of people, I don't know why they don't do this. It's so cool because you can go right on Google Maps and drive the neighborhood and not even have to get in your car, right? So these are the type of neighborhoods that I invest into. You see, they're pretty decent. They're typically C to B minus neighborhoods, right? You see this? So these are the type of neighborhoods I buy. No HOA, and you can park on the street here, right? So I will drive the neighborhood just like on Google Maps, just like this, right? Go all the way around. You can see this car's parked here. But again, there's no HOA here, so it doesn't matter. Like there's not an HOA that's going to tell me, hey, I can't park here, right? So when I look at the property and I know that everything is within my criteria initially, right? When I'm looking at the criteria of the buy box, right? Then I'll pull it up and I will go and pull it up on the MLS or try to get more photos of it. The reason why I don't have photos of this property, or actually I do have photos actually. I have them saved in my computer, but the reason why I was going to use MLS just now because there's like 25 photos saved on MLS from the previous realtor. That's the only reason I was going on here using MLS, guys. Not because you need access to it or you need to be a realtor. I don't want you guys to have a misconception, right? So this property, I'm going to pull it up in my email because I already have it here. But all right. So this, I'm actually bringing a PMP on this deal, right? So here's the wholesaler right here. See it? You can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So all this stuff is within my buy box here. I'm okay with it. So I'll get emails like this, wholesale. And I'll say, okay, PITI, check. Do I have 1 or 2 exits on this? I have 2 exits on it because it will break even on a long-term rental, or I can go pad split. Check. That's part of my buy box. HOA, no HOA, check, part of my buy box. Interest rate, 4.75, check, part of my buy box. Oh, there's arrears on here, $11,000. Okay, cool. Well, that's not too bad. I can work with that. Not a big deal. Typically, when I'm buying pre-foreclosures, I'll go up to probably like $25,000 in arrears, depending on the deal, okay? The reason why, if I go any higher than that, I'm already too much money in the deal. Like $25,000 is really pushing it. I need at least like a 4.3 that I'm going to convert into like 9 bedrooms, 10 bedrooms for me to make that make sense. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, so all this stuff checks. So then I will go in here and I'll pull up the address. I'll pull up the pictures and see, okay, well, I know that all that preliminary stuff works out, but now I want to see like, what does the floor plan look like? If I know that this property, which is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, right? It's a 3-2, 1,497 square foot. And typically this is where I like to see the square footage. Like what I have found is like, I prefer 2,000 square foot or more, but if I can stay in the 1,497 square foot and still get 7 to 8 bedrooms out of it, I will still buy those. And what I have found is you can walk into a home that's 1,497 square foot, and then you can walk in a home that's almost 2,000 or if not 2,000 square foot. And depending how the builder built that home, that 1,497 square foot home sometimes will feel just as big as a 2,000 square foot home. So now I need to see how is the square footage utilized in this space? Because when I'm doing pad split, I need to know that I'm at least getting minimum of 7 to 8 bedrooms out of the property. I do not want to look at a property that is anything less. Why? Because Jose, when I'm looking and doing my underwriting, hello? Yeah, I account for one of my bedrooms. Let me mute. I account for one of my bedrooms to go to pad split management fee, right? For that whole month. You with me?
Yeah.
I account for one of my bedrooms for vacancy. Okay. And then if I have 7, that means I have 5 more bedrooms to offset my operating fixed cost and my operating variable cost. Do you know the difference between variable and fixed cost?
No.
Okay, perfect. Very simple. Electric bill. Is it the same amount of money every single month?
No.
Okay, it's a variable cost.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
PITI, is that a variable or fixed cost? It's
Fixed. Right.
because it's the same
Got
thing.
it.
Same thing with like internet, fixed cost, lawn care, fixed cost. Stuff like that is fixed cost. The pool boy coming by, fixed cost. You know, you're going to pay 120 or 140 every single month. Variable costs are things that change and you never know exactly what it's going to be. You can do an approximate number, but you never know exactly what it's going to be. Okay. So
Got it.
I will take that in consideration. So for like this deal, I'm going to pull it up. And so I will then, once I figure it out and I check box all those items that's within my buy box, I'll say, I will then want to look and see if I can find a floor plan of the property. If I can't, not a big deal. I can still use pictures. I can still go based off the pictures. But the reason why I want to look at for a floor plan or have pictures is because I need to know where I'm going to put up walls. And not only where am I going to put up walls, I need to see where the window and how the property is structured to see if I can really get 7 to 8 bedrooms out of the property, which is my goal as a pad split investor. If I can't, then I'm going to stop looking at the property right then and there. If this is like,
Got
oh,
it.
this is a 3-2, and it's like, damn, dude, I can't squeeze another 4 bedrooms or 5 bedrooms in this property. There's just no way, right? But when you start looking between the 1,500 square foot range and the 2,000 square foot range, you'll typically be able to get another 4 bedrooms out of the property between the dining room, the living room, bonus area. Sometimes there's a Florida room, stuff like that. Those type of things, when you're looking at these properties, those are the things you want to look out for. Is there a bonus room? Is there a living room? Is there a formal dining? Is there a formal living? Right? Those are all your extra bedrooms. Is there a garage? Those are your extra bedrooms because you're going to convert the garage space as well. So when I'm looking, at the property, right, I'm simply just going in. I do my street view like I just showed you, and then I go in and then I go in and look for the pictures. Right. Again, I'm just using the MLS just because I have access to the MLS. You can do this on Trulia. You can do this on Realtor.com. You can do this on everywhere. The reason why I didn't do it on Realtor.com is because there's only one picture. They took down all the pictures. When a property goes expired off the MLS, a lot of times the realtor will rip all the pictures off. But I actually have these pictures saved to my computer somewhere on here, okay? So let me see here. Pitch deck. I sent
So you're saying that the floor plan, even though the property could have the right square footage, the floor plan alone can disqualify that property for a pad split?
If there's no way, again, if you're staying within the 14 to 2,000 range, you should be able to squeeze another 4 to 5 bedrooms out the property easily. Anything above 2,000 range, you know damn well that you're like in the green. You know there's going to be plenty of space to make the bedrooms. But when you're dealing on the lower end of the spectrum, meaning you're at the 1,400 square foot range to do a pad split, because remember the ideal is you want to be like 6 to 8 bedrooms, right? For me, what makes sense for my returns is 7 to 8 bedrooms. Now, I'm also in the position to where I don't want to just squeeze out a bunch of bedrooms. I also want them to make sure that they're very good size. Okay. I want to make sure they're not small like prison cells type deal. Okay. So let me go back here.
So what's the minimum size you're looking for? 12 by 12?
No, 12 by 12 is 12 by 12 is 144 square foot. So that's decent. Yes, that is decent. 12 by 12. Think about this. A car space is about 120 square foot. Okay. A parking space. So you want to be just that size or a bit bigger. When I first started doing pad split, bro, I was making rooms at like 90 square foot, bro. I was squeezing them in there. But you have to remember, that's fine. You could do that. But remember, from a retention rate, people might move in and out longer. Depending on how hot of a market you're in, people might move in and out of the property. you might not have as long as a retention rate, right? Because that person might feel claustrophobic. So
Right, right.
not only that, for those small bedrooms that are 80, 90 square foot, you can't put all the amenities in there. You can't put the desk, you can't put the chair. You only can put a bed, a nightstand pretty much, and a dresser. You can't even fit a closet in those small spaces. So when I'm creating my rooms now, I'm doing something that's more premium. I'm making sure that they all have a desk. I'm making sure they all have a mini fridge. I'm making sure they all have a reach-in closet. I'm making sure they all have a fan, a ceiling fan. I'm making sure they have all these amenities and the room is in a decent size. If you get an 80, 90 square foot, you can't add all this stuff in there. There's just no room for it. So
Right.
when I'm looking at my properties, it's okay for you to have a couple small ones, but you want to make sure that they're not all prison cells. Like the prison cell mentality, make sure you don't do that. And I had that mentality at the first. Okay. So let me see, pitch deck, pictures. Sorry, I got these pictures saved. So I'm going to show you right here, Jose. Let me see. Okay, here they are. Okay.
Oh, has a pool?
This one has, oh, glad you brought that up. Okay. This property does have a pool. I'm glad you brought that up. So here's the pictures of the property. So again, realtor.com, you can't get the photos, right? So I was able to get the photos because I have the MLS and I was able to go back to the old search history and I was still able to find the pictures. If you don't have that, that's fine, guys. Ask the wholesaler for the pictures. Or go walk the property and get your own damn pictures. It's simple as that. Don't make it complicated. The reason why I say you want to do all this online is because you might be in Puerto Rico or you might not have the time to go walk a property. And that's okay. You can leverage using somebody else's body to go walk a property. That's totally fine. We do this all the time. But my point here is you want to be as efficient as possible. So one of the downfalls about this particular property is it's got a pool. I don't want to do pad split with a pool. One, it's again, going back to fixed cost and variable cost. Having a pool, bro, it's going to run up my electric bill, A. B, the pool guy, I have to pay him every single month. Typically on with pools, you want that, even though it has a bird cage, you can see that it's helping prevent all the leaves coming from in the pool and stuff like that. But you at least want a pool guy to come once every 2 weeks. You're talking for a pool service to come out here to do the chlorine, to do the broom around. You're talking about an easy $150 to upwards of sometimes, depending on the market you're in, $175 a month toward your operating expenses. Not only that, you also have to factor in future CapEx for pool. Pools need to be resurfaced every so often, right? Not every 2 years, but this property, the reason why I'm considering it, Jose, is because it does have a pool, and I'm not a fan of pools, not with this exit strategy. I am for Airbnb, not for pad split buy box. But for this particular property, the pool's been resurfaced, brand new pool pump. The pool's resurfaced 2 years ago. So all the maintenance, all the big ticket items is done. I'm okay with building in another $150 to $175 in my carrying costs, right? So for me, I'm okay with that on this particular property, but I don't recommend them when you're doing pad split. Not only that, let me finish this 1 second. Not only that, pools make it to where it's inviting to have people over. And that's the reason why you take away like the common areas in a pad split. It's not just because, you're trying to create other bedrooms. You don't want people congregating. You don't want people to invite their friends over. That's why you don't want to have a 72-inch with a Mac Daddy couch in your property. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to have that.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I was going to ask you. If the property has a pool, do you need to have like extra protection, like for liability, like somebody drowns or something like that?
So so here's the Florida law, and I'm not an attorney, so make sure you review all the stuff with your attorney. And I'm not advising you here, but this is what the rule of. In Florida, if you have a pool, and this is Florida, you're supposed to have a fence of some sort around the pool. Typically, there's pool fences that they buy around the pool. And I'm not talking about the cage that's around the pool. I'm talking about a pool fence. And a lot of times when you install pools, like if you go to install a brand new pool at your house, part of the permitting process, the county or city will make you put up a yard fence around it. So a kid can't come from next door because they skip school and want to go swimming and then they drown. So there's a couple things that you want to consider. Yes, it does increase your liability, but you're renting to adults here. But that doesn't mean that the kid at 123 Main Street up the road skips school one day with his friends, and then one of them drowns in your pool because they're skipping school and they thought you had a really cool pool to jump into. That happens. It happens all the freaking time. It's very common actually. So yes, it will bring up your liability, but when you do your homeowner's insurance and you create your landlord policy, you want to have liability insurance, okay? You want to make sure your property's in a trust or an LLC to limit your exposure. And then you also want to, if you're smart, you also have what's called an umbrella policy on your assets, right? That additional umbrella policy, dude, they're like $80 a month for like $3 million coverage. You see what I'm saying? So if you could keep yourself minimize exposure with having the LLC or the property in a trust, that will help out. And then also have your homeowner insurance, which has liability coverage on it. And then in addition to that, if you want to be super, super safe, you can have your umbrella policy, and you can pay for a policy from $1 to $3 million policy. That way, if you ever go up the road and hit somebody in your car in the future, and guess what? You kill somebody, because again, this happens. Again, you have coverage. This will protect you and all your assets. An umbrella policy protects all your assets, your cars, your homes, your stuff like that. It's an additional policy to umbrella, to encumber all your properties and all your assets. That way, if you do hurt somebody one day because you were driving down the road and you ran somebody over and you killed them, they're going to try to come after you and your assets, right? So you want to make sure that that's it. But that would be a conversation for an attorney. I'm just telling you what I do. I'm not saying it's the best thing to do. I'm not saying it's not. I would just say, hey, what happens? Everybody will give you pretty much a little bit different response, but the main thing that everybody does is LLC, putting the property in LLC and or a trust to limit exposure. These are asset. These are for exposure, right? To limit your exposure to the, because remember, if it's in a trust, you don't own the trust. The trust owns the property. You're just either a grantor. You're typically a grantor on that trust, right? So anyways, another conversation for another day. So I'm going to get back to how do I analyze it? So remember, we check box all the things that when I got it sent to me, right? Now I'm going to go through the photos. Okay. I see that it has adequate parking because you can street park, you can park in the driveway. This driveway, you can stack 2 cars by next to each other. This driveway will probably fit maximum of like 3 cars, because you don't really want people parking in behind each other, because then they have to talk about who's going to move. Now, if they're okay with that and they talk about that amongst themselves, there's not a problem with that. You see what I'm saying? So they can park behind each other if they want. If they say, hey, Johnny, you leave at early in the morning, at 6 in the morning, but I don't leave to 8. You can park behind me. Now, if they want to coordinate that, that's fine. But you can fit minimum of 2 to 4 cars on this driveway. You get a lot of street parking. Okay, boom, check. The roof is only a few years old. Check. This property is built in 1990. Check. The property doesn't need to be painted on the exterior. Check. The property is on septic tank. Check. Or excuse me, not on septic tank. Check, because I don't buy properties on septic tank. Typically, I won't. I do own several properties on septic. They too tend to cost you more problems in the future. So part of my buy box, I have been eliminating septic tanks. I prefer to be on city sewer. Okay. So this doesn't have a septic tank. Check. Okay. So I'm going to go through the pictures here, right? All right. Now I've just entered the home. Okay. Right here, Jose, is right here where I put my first wall. This wall would run here all the way here, right? And then it's going to cut back to here. This is going to be 1 bedroom. Okay. So guess what? It's a what? How many bedrooms is this house?
3-2. Now is 4-2.
Okay. Now it's a 4-2. All right. Follow along with me. So now it's a 4-2. Okay. Here's the same thing, different room. So now this is going to become a hallway here. This will be a hallway, a big hallway here, right? Okay. Boom. Okay. Now it's a 4-2. Oh. All right. Here's another angle, right? So that wall would come here, here, and then would 90-degree right here toward the front door. This right here is the front door area. So it would go boom, and it would follow the couches. So think of the couches as the wall. So that's the 4th bedroom. Okay. Oh, keep going the other way. Okay. Here's another angle. Okay, so I'm going to get out of these pictures here. Okay, boom. So here's room number 5. Remember, you need to have 80 square foot minimum and 2 points of egress. Now, if I go back, what's the 2 points of egress for this property or this room? Is the window here, okay, and then the bedroom door. That's 2 points, okay? Same here. I'm going to go right here as well to this picture. Okay. So to the right of me is that room that I just created, right? You with me?
Yes.
I'm going to put another wall up right here. Boom, coming all the way down here and coming back here. Boom. This person now has 2 points of egress, actually 3. This door, this window, and then they're going to have their bedroom window. So this will be a hallway right here, okay? Leading all the way to the front door. So that's now what? Bedroom number 5, right? Now, I know that based on my experience, I know that the rooms, those 2 rooms aren't going to be the biggest. They're probably going to be right around the neighborhood of 135 square foot, 130 square foot. That's still okay with me. They're not going to be super tiny, but they're not going to be big. It's going to be in between rooms. Okay. So that's room number 5. All right. Now, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I need to see how the master bedroom is configured because remember, people need access to the other bathroom. Now, obviously, in this hallway here is the shared bathroom. So you have 2 of the existing rooms are on this side of the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then there's a shared bathroom in the middle. That's easy for everybody to get to. But what about the other bathroom on the other side of the house? Okay. So we're going to go into the master bedroom right now. There's the kitchen. Oh, another thing too, I look for when I'm buying homes. If you notice, all the floors are updated. I don't want to go in and replace all the flooring. All the kitchen countertops and kitchens updated. So the cosmetics are things I look for. I want to make sure I'm buying properties with updated cosmetics. Again, by the time that person, that wholesaler goes direct to seller, they put their fee on top. Sometimes there's a realtor involved. They have their fee on top and the deal gets to me. You're already, by the time the deal gets to me, a lot of times it's already at 20, upwards of $30,000. By the time I do my pad split renovation, my furniture cost, my holding cost. And by the way, just a good rule of thumb, just so you know, you're between your pad split renovation, your furniture cost, every property is a little bit different. Every market's a little bit different. You're looking at another 30K in cost, upwards of 35,000. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was my next question. I wanted to know how much do you spend per
Right.
room on average?
All right. So I'm gonna get to that in a sec. Okay. All right. So let's walk through the home so you can see the rest of the rooms and how I'm going to come about them, right? So here's the master. We're about to go into the master, guys. This is the master bedroom. Okay. Here's the kitchen, fully updated. Okay, boom. Here's the master. Now with this master, I'm going to put a wall from here, right here, all the way across, just to the inside of this door. And so what that's going to do is, let me get another picture of this master. What that's going to do is people are going to be able to walk in here. I'm going to soundproof the wall that I'm putting up in here, and they're going to be able to walk in here and get into that bathroom. See what I'm saying? You with me?
So you're gonna make the master room smaller
Yes.
for everybody to have
Correct.
access to that one bathroom?
Correct. They have to have access to
Okay.
this bathroom here. Okay.
All right.
This is room number 6. I'm going to put the wall from here, all the way to the other side of this, on the right side of this door. I've already looked at it. I have the ability to do that with this floor plan. Okay. That's 6. Now, the garage is my 7th and 8th bedroom. Now, I don't have a picture of the garage in here, but I know that the average 2-car garage is about 20 by 15. Okay. Typically, I would make 1 to 2 bedrooms out of a garage. Now, you want to make sure your garage has a door or a window in it. If you don't have that, you have to incorporate that into your cost. It's going to cost you to do that. You see what I'm saying? It's going to cost you to install.
And you always convert the garage?
Always, because it's a dead space. It's a dead space
Right.
costing dust, bro. It's money that you could be making. That's why I said it's important for you to convert to 7 to 8 bedrooms, because remember, one goes, let's just say that you're not 100% occupied. That means one room, let's say, that doesn't get occupied, right? Or it maybe your occupancy rate 1 month is, let's say you have an 8-bedroom, 1 month you have 7 bedrooms occupied, or maybe one person moves out and then you only have 6, so it's going to fluctuate. But the typical retention rate on Patsmith statistic is 7 to 9 months for individuals to stay. Depending on what market you're in, I'm going to tell you right now, like markets like Orlando and Tampa, bro, people don't move out. These markets are so in need of real estate right now, of affordable housing. Sorry. When I have my properties in Orlando, if somebody does move out within 48 hours, I already got somebody else trying to come in. Boom, we're getting an inquiry.
Wow.
Right, that quick. Right. So depending on what market you're in, it depends. So like right now, Palm Coast is a new market for me. I'll be honest with you guys. I just dropped 60K on a property. That was between the pathway renovation, the holding costs, the upfront acquisition, the furniture, everything all said and done. Tax tag and title out the door. Once the property was done in Palm Coast, which I'll be done with it in about 2 weeks. That's the walkthrough that you missed. I'm going to be in about 60K. And that's where I try to land, Jose, is between 50 all in, meaning like the acquisition cost of the real estate, the holding cost, the paths of renovation, the furniture, all the miscellaneous, oh shit, I didn't realize I'd have to do that cost. Like I'm making an example, the Patsmith property or the Palm Coast property I'm doing right now, guess what? We pressure washed the house the other day and fucking paint is peeling all around the house in the exterior. Guess what? I got to go paint that home. Right? That's going to cost me almost another $3,000 I wasn't expecting to paint. So make sure you have an oh shit fund. Right? Like, oh, okay, I just acquired this property. Oh, it's going to cost me, I have a oh shit fund of $3,000 to $5,000. I always like to say at least $5,000 and like, oh, this might be spent, right? Up front. So again, luckily I had that. So things like that happen, right? We can't, sometimes you open up a can of worms, you don't know what happened, right? You don't know how, you weren't expecting that. But anyways, when I walk the property, obviously I do check for paint, but in my honest, humble opinion, when I looked at the property, it was super late at nighttime. I was coming back from another property I bought in Jacksonville, and I was coming down 95. It was like 8:30 at night. I walked it very late at night, and I walked the property, and I didn't notice the paint was in the baddest condition it was. Okay, no problem, rookie mistake, no big deal. But you learn, and this is what I was telling you, Michael. We're always learning. And it's like, not that I didn't know not to do that. I was okay with this the real reason is, guys, is dude, I had such a freaking low entry on that house. I think my entry cash to close was like 12 G's, right? My entry was so damn low. I didn't care if there was like a small little thing like paint needed to be done. It's not that I don't know not to check for those things. It's just like, if it needed to be painted, I was willing to do it. So it's not like a super huge surprise to me. So I always look at the paint. When I'm buying a property, I'm looking at the hearts and lungs of the property. The roof, the AC, the electrical, the plumbing, right? Is it on septic or sewer? These are the hearts and lungs of the property. These are the big ticket items. And then in addition to that, I'm looking at the cosmetics of that property because I want to know, are the cosmetics updated too? Because again, at some point, these cosmetics need to be updated at some point. I don't want to go and rip out kitchens and bathrooms and stuff like that. So notice the properties I buy, the cosmetics are updated, the flooring, the paint, the kitchens, the bathrooms are typically updated. Okay. But anyway, so I'll walk the property just like this. And a lot of times I'll say, I will try to find a floor plan. This property actually does have a floor plan. It's on the MLS. I can pull it up, but no need. We already walked through the pictures, but this property actually does have a floor plan. Okay. And, I will try to find a floor plan. If you can't find a floor plan, guys, no problem. Go walk the property. It's very simple. This is how you solve that problem. If you want to go back and analyze it, go walk the property with your Patsmith lens on, with your Patsmith buy box, because obviously you're only going to go walk the property is if you know, this is where we're at, Jose. Let's rewind here a little bit, actually. Wholesaler sent me the deal. I analyzed it. Check. Everything checked off. Then I took it a step further. I did the Google Street View. I wanted to drive the neighborhood to see if the neighborhood is within, like, I don't want too pretty of a neighborhood, but I also don't want too ugly of a neighborhood. I don't want to where there's a Karen in the neighborhood, which you never know. Who knows where the Karen is at anyways. But I also don't want to where my members or when people walk outside at night, they feel that they're threatened because it's just in an area where there's a high crime rate, right? So I'm looking at other houses. Are they well kept? Are people parking in their yards? Is the next door's neighbor house purple? Are there bars on the windows? What does the location look like, right? What is my proximity to other things in the area? So see how I'm analyzing that market, I'm analyzing that neighborhood even before I get there. And guess what? The beautiful thing about this, guys, is all this stuff takes minutes. It takes minutes. check, check, check. Okay, boom, Google Street View. And then I'll look at the pictures and try to look for a floor plan. And while I'm doing that, by the way, I'm also simultaneously texting the wholesaler. Hey, how's the roof? How's the plumbing? How's the AC? How's the electrical? These are my 4 things. Hey, do you have an inspection report? Oh, no, I don't have an inspection report. If he does have an inspection report, tell him to send it over to you. A lot of times they might have access to an inspection report. Or if they're dealing directly with an agent, a lot of times the agent can ask the seller if they bought it a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, do they have an inspection report when they bought the property? You should always, at the end of the day, guys, even if you get an inspection report, you should always do your own due diligence. You cannot take anybody's answer. You can't take an inspection report. At the end of the day, if you want the real damn answer, you have to do your own homework. Okay. So check, check, check. I did a Google Street View. And then now I'm moving into, I'm going to walk the property with the pictures and see if I can get 7 to 8 bedrooms out of it. This property, I know I can get 7 to 8 bedrooms out of it. Okay. So it's something I'm going to consider. But here's the thing. The wholesaler hit me up. He wanted like a $40,000 entry. Within hours, I got him from 40 to 30. 30 still too high for me on this deal, right? He hit me up today. Look at this. He hit me up today. Let me show you. I mean, guys, I'm not joking. This is happening all day long, right? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
You see my text?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Isaac? Let me see. Boo, boo, boo. Isaac, let me pull him up here. And I do this on a daily basis. Let me show you real life text. Isaac, where's he at? Isaac. Oh, sub 2. Boom. Here we go. So you can see my screen, right? Oh, this is another deal I bought off him. He sent me this. This is another deal I bought off him. Anyways, so you can see here, show you a string of texts. Like I built relationships, right? This is how I'm building relationships. All right, so I'm gonna scroll to this other deal that he's trying to sell me, which is the one I just pulled up. And guys, I like to talk about real life scenarios so you can see, right? Look at this. I'm gonna start from the very, very beginning. You can see exactly how I'm talking to him, right? Hey dude, you're killing it. Mentor me, bro. Okay, whatever. Let me see. He lives in Costa Rica, by the way, this guy.
Oh, wow.
Any other deal? Okay, boom. So here, Thursday. Okay, so he sends me this right here, right? He's like, sorry, I like to practice my Spanish. He lives in Costa Rica. Blah, 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 blah. We're just playing a little bit. Palm Coast is, look, I put it this right here. Palm Coast is a secondary market for me. It's speculative side for my portfolio. I'll take a look at it. Okay, I understand. I'm seriously considering taking it down myself, but if not, I can get a decent assignment fee. I'll wait to the next one. I said, okay, I'm here in the green, guys, by the way, even though I have an iPhone. I said, okay, let's see, brother. I have 2 deals. I said I bought 2 deals last week and hopefully another one today. Dang, you're killing it. Mentor me, bro. Okay. I'm afraid that's the truth, be honest. Cause he's talking about he's going to buy it. He's like, no, I'm afraid, right? Buying property overseas. He didn't want to go that. So here's check this out, guys. Look, he said, I'm in CR, which is Costa Rica. I feel handicapped by the distance. I like the co-living, but have 0 experience in it. You see my screen?
Yes.
I said, okay. I said, I visit, okay, so I only visit the properties, the initial walkthrough. After that, I hand it off to my team. They do the rest. This is me talking. So if you're smart, you would partner with guys like me. Okay. Here's, again, I'm building a relationship. So because here's the way I'm thinking right now. I'm like, okay, you brought me a deal. If you have the deal, you have such a low damn entry fee. Why don't we partner on the deal? Let's take it down together. I'll make you a partner on the deal. You make me a partner on the deal. We both own the real estate together, and not maybe everybody's not in this position, but okay. You get deals, bring in the capital. I have the systems and processes in place. No need to reinvent the wheel. And then I looked at the property. I said, this has a pool because I'm not a big deal. I'm not a big thing of pool. I said, I hate pools, low, or LOL. I have to fill it with dirt. I was just joking. I've seen people do that. Okay, boom, right here. I asked them, okay, is the house vacant? How much are the arrears? So now we're starting to get into the nitty gritty, talking about the deal. $11,000 in arrear. Okay. I said, let me run some numbers. Do you have the inspection report? Guys, this is part of my SOP. Every time I'm talking to a seller, Any idea the age of the roof? Any idea the age of the AC? The reason why I didn't ask about plumbing and I didn't ask about electrical, because I know a lot about plumbing. I know a lot about electrical. Homes that were built after I believe it's 1950, not between 1950 and 1970, you don't have to worry. After that time period, they're all copper houses. When they built homes back in the day, the reason why they stopped using copper was because copper was too expensive. So what they started doing was they started using aluminum wiring to wire homes. So if you're in that really old home range, which my buy box is 1975 or newer, because I don't never typically have to worry about these issues. If you start buying homes, anything like under 1970 or lower, you'll start finding homes with like in 1920, 30, 40s, and 50s. You're going to start finding homes with cloth wiring, and you're going to find homes with aluminum wiring. You don't want those. Okay. And you're not going here to rewire a damn home. And not only do you not want them, the insurance companies don't want them either. Because every time you submit a property to buy a property, you have to submit what's called a 4-point inspection report to the insurance companies. They care about the 4 points of the properties: the roof, the AC, the plumbing, electrical, nothing else. They don't give a shit about anything else. They don't care if the kitchen's from 1920s. Okay. So in my buy box, personally, I like to buy 1975 homes or newer. I like to buy homes with newer roofs. I like to buy homes with newer ACs, the big ticket items. Okay. So right here, part of my SOP is asking these specific questions. But the reason why I didn't ask about the electrical or the plumbing, because I know with that home, the age it is, I already know what type of plumbing and electrical has it. Okay. But you can always ask that question if you want to ask it all together. Okay. Water heater, 08, inspection, 2021. Sorry, the roof is 5 years old. Again, he's given me this information verbally, but doesn't mean that I'm accepting it. I will still need to do my own homework. And guys, if you guys want to verify something, you need to send a home inspector in there. And, or if you don't, if the time is the essence and you don't have time to send a home inspector, or they're not allowing you to do a home inspection, which typically every wholesaler allows you to do a home inspection. It's the norm. When you go into contract, your escrow money is going to be hard 99.9% of the time. So you got to make sure that you are indeed buying this property. If not, you're going to lose your escrow. So you just got to ask yourself, right? But anyway, so
Javi, really quick, in this case, you asked this guy for an inspection report.
If
Did he provide that?
Yeah, if he has one available, they'll provide it. This deal, he doesn't have one, right? The other deal that he sold me, he had one available. He got it through the seller. Typically, he's not doing the inspection. He's just getting what he has off the seller, right?
Okay, and then if they got the inspection report and they provide it to you, is that typically enough? Would you go by what that says?
If it's within 6 months, yes.
Okay.
If it's outside of 6 months, it's too long, man. There could be other things that happen. Now, remember, that's okay with my risk tolerance. You might say, hey, Javi, I want a year or more. Or, hey, Javi, 3 months or more is too much for me. I'm okay with up to 6 months. I'll look at an inspection report and I'll validate that that's true also with my walkthrough. But here's the beautiful thing about this, guys. If something's been replaced, like a roof, AC, plumbing, electrical, typically you can look up public record permits. You can look up the permits as well to see if it indeed was permitted. And typically when people do big stuff like electrical, plumbing, AC, well, not AC a lot, but plumbing, electrical, and roof, those are always typically permitted. Now, if you're adding a small piece of pipe somewhere, you're not permitting that. I'm talking about a whole entire house repipe. Okay. I'm talking about a whole entire roof replacement. ACs, it's hit or miss. Sometimes you see them permitted, sometimes you don't see them permitted. Okay. Now, but he's giving me the information here, right? 11K is a seller, 5K assignment. Look at this. Okay. Check this out. I told him earlier, I'm going to run some numbers. I say, what do you think about this? I have 2 others. So he's trying to pull this card on me. Bro, I already know this is bullshit right here. I have 2 other students that were supposed to make offers, but I don't have anything in hand yet. Right. I said, yes, most of them are flaky and not serious buyers. LOL. Lots of value of having a good buyer on hand like me. This is what I said to him, right? There's a lot of value in that, guys. When you guys position yourselves to be serious buyers and people know you're a serious buyer and they know you're execute, guys, this will get you discounts on homes. Why? Because people rather sell the freaking home and move on with their life. Listen, these wholesalers don't give a shit. They want to collect their assignment fee and move the hell on. They don't care about anything else. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if they can sell you the home at a discounted assignment fee, they will do that to get rid of the damn home. And I'm going to show you what right here, what I'm talking about. Okay. So I talked about that, living in Costa Rica. We talked about that. Okay. So he's selling a couple houses in Costa Rica. He sent me his view. We don't care about that right now. Blah, 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 blah. All right, boom, right here. Okay. He texted me today, guys. I told him I'm a buyer. Where did I put that at? Oh, here we go. See this up here? See this text? I told him I'm a buyer at 21,000 all in, me paying closing costs plus TC fees. Okay. Anytime you get in the deal, guys, and they send you an entry fee, always first things you need to ask for are two things. What's the breakdown of the entry fee? Send me the mortgage statement. If they're a really good wholesaler, they're going to have the mortgage statement, the photos, they're going to have all the pertinent information that they know that you're going to ask ever already in a Google document, right? Typically, if they're good, right? So I sent it to him here. He wanted $40,000 for this, guys. Hey, I would be a buyer at 21,000, me paying closing costs and as well as at TC closing fees. So if you look right here, this is right when he sent me the deal, right? I underwrote it. I said this is where I'm a buyer at, and then he put, oh, I have two other students that are looking at it, trying to pull he's trying to build certainty, or he's trying to build urgency, right? Bro, I know the game, bro. I've been doing sales for 10 years. Bro, I know you ain't got no two other freaking buyers that are gonna buy it. You ain't got no two other buyers, bro. You're bullshitting. Anyways, so he hits me up today. Look at this. Today, 301. Hey, just circling back on the Palm Coast deal. Are you interested? Oh, guess what? Guess who's got the upper hand now? I freaking do. You were trying to get 40 first. I got you down to 30. I'm still at 21. How can we make this deal work? Now, again, he can either say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take Javier's 21 and only make $6,000 assignment fee on this and move on with my life, which that's what they really care about. Or he can sit there and go out there and try to market it and market it and market it and market it and waste his damn time and energy to try to market the deal that he's not going to get sold. I already know it. I know he's not going to sell this deal. The entry fee is too high. And there's a lot of wholesalers out there that do this same exact thing. And so what my strategy is, I approach these people with my offer, verbal offer, and if they want to take it or leave it, that's up to them. But guess what? My offer's still on the table. A lot of times they come running back days or weeks later, want me to solve their problem, want me to buy the deal. And at that point, I might renegotiate with them again because I know they're in that much more of a desperate situation. Does this make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Javier, man, you dropping the bombs today, baby.
That was really good. It was. That was really good.
So that's how I do it. That's how I analyze it. And I know that was long, Jose, to answer your initial, like, what do I look like when I get a deal? That's what I'm doing. Check, 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 check. Street view. Okay. Now it's worth it for me. Look at the inside pictures. Can I get a floor plan? If you can't get a floor plan, the inside pictures will suffice. And then if you know you're very serious about the property, then you can go walk the property. Go walk the property. And then when you walk the property, if you know for sure right then and there that you're going to buy the property, you need to pull out what's called magic floor plan and walk the property with magic floor plan and create your own floor plan then and there. That way you have something to reference off of. If you guys do this every single time you go out and buy deals or you're talking to somebody to buy a deal, it's called SOPs, guys. It's systems and processes. Okay. When you worked at company back in the day, for the people who work at companies, they had you clock in, they had you put your uniform on, it's a system and processes, guys. It's nothing different. We're just doing it with real estate. Okay. So make sure you have those SOPs in place. That way, when you're talking to people, you talk to them just like I do. And you build that, again, building that credibility. Let me mute him real quick.
Let me just finish this conference call and I'll call you back.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Anyway, so you see what I'm saying, Jose?
Yes, yes, man.
Is that helpful?
Thank you for that. Very helpful, very helpful.
So that's the way. And so when I do that, by the way, Jose, because I know there was a lot of confusion for you with the whole buy box scenario. When I'm looking at a property, when I'm walking it and when I'm looking at it initially, I only look at it with my pad split lens. But remember this is where it's important for you to also understand when you're buying a deal, make sure it has at least two exit strategies. So for instance, when I buy deals, I always like to look at what's my worst case scenario. If pad split doesn't work out and I dump all this money into it, or the business model doesn't work out how I thought it was going to work out, or pad split gets abducted by aliens and there is no more pad split. What's my worst case scenario here? I know with that property, I will still break even long-term rental. And if I can break even on a long-term rental, think about this. If I'm still breaking even on a long-term rental, I'm still getting tax depreciation. I'm getting future leverage. I'm getting appreciation. I'm getting principal pay down. I'm getting all these still benefits of owning a piece of real estate. Now, it's not the sexiest to be in a deal for that amount of money, and it's not making you money, but at least you have two exit strategies on that one deal. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
technically,
And you have the asset.
you have the asset. Technically, guys, with this property, I can actually do 3 exits. It's in an Airbnb market, legal Airbnb market. It has a pool, so I can do Airbnb. I can do long-term rental, or I can do pad split. There's 3 exit strategies in this one property. And I had, you know what's funny? He came back to me a couple hours ago about this property. And guess what? I'm still at 21,000. I'm gonna lock him up at 21,000 if he wants to do a damn deal with me. If not, no big deal. Because guess what? I'm always thinking abundantly, guys. I have a lot of freaking deals out there. You have a lot of deals out there. We all have a lot of deals out there. There's no point of inserting yourself into a bad deal, right? Just to put yourself in a deal, right? So make sure you're patient for the right deal, but don't overthink it either. Check, check, check. If everything's not perfect, see how you can manipulate it. See how, you see what I'm saying? So, Michael, the way I came up with 21,000 is going back to my conversation, what I said earlier. I like to be in these deals about 50 upwards to $65,000. I know at 21,000, which is my assignment fee to wholesaler, which is about 6K, 11K in arrears, closing costs, all these other miscellaneous acquisition costs that I have to pay, TC fees, et cetera, I can be in this deal max at 21,000. Why? Because I know I have my pad split renovation, which is going to be between the pad split renovation on a property like this, and this is the answer your question that you asked earlier. If you add about 4 bedrooms, yeah. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, if you add 4 to 5 bedrooms, when you put up the walls, when you do the electrical, when you do the HVAC work, when you do all that stuff, refinishing the walls, making it pad split ready. To add about 4 bedrooms, guys, a good rule of thumb, and again, this is to reroute the electrical because you have to add outlets if that's necessary. Now a lot of times I position them to where I don't have to do that, but if you have to move the outlet like a foot or two, that's still having to do some type of electrical work. If you have to put AC in a room, that's still having to run what are called flex and ductwork to that room. It's about 20 grand for 4 bedrooms, 5, 10, 15, 20, right? To do all that work, guys, you're looking at about 20 grand. So to answer your questions, Michael, I'm negotiating. I told the wholesaler I can be in the deal all in at 21 plus me pay TC fees and me pay closing costs. So then at that point, it's up to him to figure out, can he still make money at 21? He can actually. There's no realtor involved on this deal. I have to pay the seller, the arrears of the seller. I would pay closing cost. So really, like, if I don't know exactly what down to a penny what his assignment fee is, but he would probably still make, I don't know, 6 to 8K maybe on this deal if he sold it to me at 21,000. Dude, he was trying to hit a home run at 40. Okay, I get it. He wants to make a lot of money on one deal, but that doesn't make sense for me. So once I factor in 21,000 is my highest and best offer for the property, because I'm factoring in, if I'm at 21 and I got to do a pad split renovation, that's going to be another 20, let's call it. So that's 21, 31, that's 41,000 already. I got pad split furniture I need to buy. That's between 7 and 9K on that property. So that's 21, 31, 41, 41 plus, let's call it another 8 or 9K for furniture. That's $49,000 already. Now I still have another holding cost. Typically, it's going to take you 2 months in holding costs on that. Guys, PIT on this house is what? $2,300 a month. Now that doesn't include the power. That doesn't include internet, because I put internet in day one so I can get the property up and running, my surveillance. That doesn't include all that. I'm already in this deal at 55 grand. Remember, I want to be all in at between 50 upwards of $65,000 on these deals. If I can find deals that spit out $5,500 to $6,000 a month gross revenue, and I'm in the deal typically between 50 to 65,000, I'm going to be around the 20 to 30% cash on cash return. See what I'm saying? And that's where I want to be. My cash on cash has to be 20 to 30% for me to take down a deal. Now, you guys might look at deals, you might be like, oh, I'm okay with 18, I'm okay with 15, that's fine. But I want to be between 20 on the low end and 30% on the high end. I want to be all in costs between price of renovation, acquisitions, holding costs. I want to be in between $50,000 to $60,000. I would go as high as $65,000. Okay. Any other questions?
I'm good. Thanks.
good?
Thank you, Javi.
Is that good?
Yes, sir.
Good, man. I hope that helped.
It did.
Hey guys, any other questions? We got any other questions? Anything else I can deep dive into? No one's got a question. Everybody knows everything. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here in a second if everybody is good to go. If everybody is good to go, do me a favor, guys. I ask for one favor. If you go in the school community and actually take a screenshot of this Zoom call, drop it in the school community, let everyone know how I helped you guys out. Let's talk about it. And that way we can start getting more people into these Zooms, guys. We have 100 and I think 4 members in the community. I know there's a lot of people in there that need more help. The goal is for me to help you guys. Remember, I don't drive this community. The community drives the community. So if you guys aren't participating, the community is not going to drive the community. So just drop a comment, put one takeaway that you had about today's Zoom meeting. And I'm going to be doing this again every Thursday. I'm going live on Thursdays, unless otherwise stated. And then Matt is going live every Tuesday. Jose knows Matt's dropping bombs in there, social media stuff. If you guys want to be a part of social media training one-on-one, go into those Zooms. If it doesn't apply, it's not applicable to you, don't go in those Zooms. But if you want to learn about social media, you shouldn't be in this Zoom right now. Yes, I know a lot about social media. I know a lot about brand building, but I'm not a professional. So I don't intend to be a professional. I leverage that out. So do me a favor. If you guys are watching this, please make a post in the school community talking about your experience today. What's up, Jose?
Yeah, really quick before we leave here, and I'm sorry if I missed this. Did you go over how much you spend per room on average?
On for furniture?
Yes.
You're looking about, so all in cost is about, yeah, it's $20,000 for the pad split renovation. That means putting the walls up, doing the electrical, running the HVACs, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, when I do the garage conversion, I want to touch on one other thing. I don't connect from the central back. I use mini split AC system, ductless AC systems. Those are typically about $2,300 to $2,500 a piece, right? I typically only do one because typically all my garages, I've only been converting to 1 bedroom. Okay.
Okay.
For the bedrooms, you're looking at about $1,000. A good rule of thumb is about $1,100 to $1,000 in furniture cost. So if you do 7 bedrooms, you're at $7,000 in furniture cost. If you do 8 bedrooms, you're at 8,000. That's a good rule of thumb for you to use. And I don't know if you know, Jose, if you go into the classroom and you go and check out my pad split mini course, go to all the way to week, I think step 4 or step 5. I have a whole entire shopping list that I've made for you guys.
I have it.
Oh, okay.
I have it. Yeah.
There you go. Boom. So if you were to go, so here, I want to tell you to do this, but then I don't want you to tell you to do this because then you're going to overthink it. But what I was going to say is, if you want to do for shits and giggles, add all that shit to the cart, see what it costs. That's going to furnish, a 7-8 bedroom if you want to do a test run. But again, I don't like to teach that because if I teach that, then you're like, oh, let me look at this. Guys, the most important thing is you don't want to be any higher than 65K on these deals if they're only doing 5 to 6K a month. If they're doing higher than that, they're doing upwards of $10,000 a month. That's a different conversation. But for me right now, I haven't found a property that's doing 10K a month because I need a minimum of an existing of a 4.3 or like a 4.4 so I can convert it to like 10 bedrooms. See what I'm saying? I need the extra bath count. Because remember, for every 4 bedrooms, you need to have 1 bathroom on pad split.
Mhm.
So if I have 8 bedrooms, I need to have 2 bathrooms. If I have 10 bedrooms, right, you can only do, you need at least three.
3.
So,
Got it.
so
All right, brother.
1,000 a room for furniture, factor in, and then you're looking about per room that you build is going to be about $5,000. Remember,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
you can say that varies between market and contractor and stuff like that. You might meet Joselito, who just came here for Puerto Rico, who's badass and can do all that for, I don't know, 15K. I don't know, right? But I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
I've done multiple of these deals. They're all roughly around $20,000 for the pad split renovation. And you know what's funny? I've actually have launched other students pad splits, meaning like I have helped them through the process. I got a guy right now. He has 7 bedrooms in Tampa, and those 7 bedrooms, he got through the pad split, did the whole renovation with me. The contractor that he used over there was not my contractor, somebody he found, and literally, I'm not kidding you, it came in just under $20,000 to create 4 bedrooms. In Palm Coast, just under 20,000. Orlando, about that. So it's been really about the similar. And I'm telling you, that's across Palm Coast market, Jacksonville market, and Orlando market. So I'm starting to see a trend here, and that's how I get that number, by the way. I'm not just spitting out a number.
Got it.
So he did the same exact amount of bedrooms added, and then I did the same amount, and then I've done in other markets. So it's been about that same thing. So
Mhm. Cool. Yeah, I haven't been able to go to Matt's Tech Tuesdays
oh, sweet. Okay.
because I have at that same time I have Bible study, so I'm over there. I catch the replays, but
Yeah.
I'll be joining that soon.
Dude, again, if you're trying to take your social media to another level, which I know you are,
Yeah.
definitely 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Thanks.
All right, cool.
Thanks,
I'll
Javi.
let you guys run. I'll see you guys next week. If you guys need anything in the meanwhile, just throw anything in the school community comments. But please, like I said, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also make sure you make a post in the school community talking about what your biggest takeaway was today. If you could do that for me, that would be so appreciative to me. That's all I'm asking for you guys. And again, follow me, like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Real Javier Paredes, and I'm gonna see you guys on the other side.